Welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. Today we'll be playing a game run by an adult, played by adults, and very well may have some adult content. Adult language will be used. Adult themes may happen. So in other words, this game is for adults, though not necessarily very mature adults. But anyway, let's move over to our game. Welcome to Let's Dungeon, a brand new game show brought to you by the same people who produce such classic pseudo-reality TV shows as Here Cometh the Axe, and who could forget that great family classic, How Long Could You Live With Yourself? SOS Studios now presents Let's Dungeon! My name is Alex Ross. I'll be your host today. And let's go to our contestants. Contestant number 1.
Oh, how y'all doing? My name's psilocybin. I love game shows. Can't believe I got chosen. This is awesome. Woo! Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah!
And contestant number 2.
Hi, my name's Quincy, and I'm just here. I forget why I'm here. I'm here to make friends. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm a hero in training, so count on me.
And because I forgot to mention, this will be run using the Fate Accelerated game, modified for our own benefit. If you gentlemen would like to discuss your high concepts, your troubles, and whatnot, let's start with Andrew.
He uses his free action to unmute himself. Yes, of course. And so my character is going to be the psilocybin. He is a really old half-elf paladin, obsessed with muscly men and muscles. His aspects, a friend in need, is a friend indeed. Insanely positive. A whip handler extraordinaire. His stunts, quiet as a church mouse, and silver-tongued, and been there, done that.
Patrick?
Quincy's actually, your friendly neighborhood beholder, and his high concept is, just that, friendly neighborhood beholder. His trouble is that he's friendly to a fault. Some of his aspects are he's a hero in training. He has a telepathic bond, even when he doesn't always want to. And some of his stunts are that's no death ray, and fuck this. So I'll keep another one secret.
And now back to our scheduled program. So we have 2 contestants partaking in Let's Dungeon today. This is the pilot episode, and these are the ones that answered the call. Our 2 fine young contestants, well, one maybe not so young anymore, are escorted to the entrance of our dungeon. As they're led in, they're led into a singular room. The room is very dark, and the door closes behind them. As you can hear, the clockworks turning, gears shifting. Click, click, click. The light turns off from behind the door, leaving them in complete darkness. Can you see them in complete darkness? Ted, what about the lights? And as he says that, in the farthest corners of the room, 2 torches light up on either side, opposing each other on sconces. Then moments later, another 2 torches closer towards you in the middle of the room burst to life, again on sconces. And then on either side of you, another pair of torches. 6 torches lit in the room, illuminating everything in fairly orangey light. The room is 20 by 20 by 20. It is a cube devoid of anything but the sconces. And the only other thing you can see in that room is a door.
Well, at least there's a door, right? I mean, this isn't so bad. Just walk over there, open the door. We good. We good. What do you think, Quincy?
I'm just happy I'm here with you, CeeLo. Nothing
All
can
right.
go wrong.
I will, yeah, go open the door. Try to open the door.
I'm sure that's a swell idea, CeeLo.
Yeah, so you walk over to the door and you open it. It leads to another room.
Oh, that's good. You didn't die, CeeLo. Let's go.
All right.
Very well. Good job. Good job, gentlemen. You did well. The sign says applause, audience. Yeah, there you go. It's wonderful. Absolutely fantabulous. And I'm supposing you, friendly folk, would like to enter this other room.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And as you guys go into the other room, again, the door closes behind you, slams shut. Poof! And you hear click, 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 click. And a pair of torches, lights, again in the furthest distance, then towards the middle, and then on either side of you. This room looks almost identical to the room you just come from. However, and studio audience, this is a key difference. There are two doors in this room, one behind them and one before them. Which one will they take? What decisions will they make? Let's find out.
Well, I'm a forward thinker, so let's go forward.
Shit, CeeLo. That sounds like a swell idea again.
Woo! All right. Well, this is going my swimmingly then. Let's go through this next door, right in front of us.
Okay.
All right, so CeeLo, let me get a wisdom roll.
Yes, of course, of course.
Bong, 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 bong. Bong, 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 bong.
So that will be a 4?
A 4 total?
Is it the fudge dice plus my wisdom or the d20 plus my wisdom? My apologies.
No, everything is the fudge dice.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
D20.
that's what I thought. Right?
17.
Ladies and gentlemen, forgive our contestant. He is a really, really old half-elf.
Very old, very old.
His magical passes are absent. So you roll the fudge dice, and then you add your wisdom.
Okay. So that's a plus to my wisdom. So I rolled a 5, so that 5 or 6 is a plus. Wisdom is 2, so...
Bong, 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 bong. Bong, 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 bop. Ba-da-da-da-da, bong, 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 bong.
So I just how much of a plus do I add to my wisdom if I rolled a plus on the fudge dice?
Is it a plus and only a plus?
Yeah, I rolled a 5, so it's a plus.
Every plus is worth 1. Every minus
Okay.
is minus 1, and a 0 is a 0. A blank is a blank. So if you get a total of plus 1 on your die, that is a 3 total.
3 total. 3 total on my wisdom.
Beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, as the really, really old half-elf walks open to the door, he touches the door as if he was going to open it and disappears out of view. As he falls through, our brand new trapdoor. So give me a dexterity roll to see if you
Of course, of course.
through this trapdoor into the darkness.
Hey, CeeLo,
So that's going to be a 3?
That's a 3?
Yep.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'm alright. No biggie. Just this the ground fell from under me. Not really sure what happened, but that's okay. That's okay.
I'd give you a hand, but yeah, I don't got one.
You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give CeeLo a hand. And what we have left in this brand new room of ours are 2 doors, plus a trapdoor. Our only contestant is our friendly neighborhood beholder, our multi-eyed companion. And what will he do? I don't know. Let's find out. And back over to you.
Not really sure what to do here, CeeLo. You got any ideas?
Just go through the door again.
You want me to leave you behind?
Yeah, I'll catch you up.
Okay. No problem.
While we wait for our contestants to figure out what steps will they take next, and SOS Studios, copywritten of course, dungeon, let's take some suggestions from our studio audience. You, miss, yes, grab the mic. The mic. You need the mic to talk. Yeah. Ah, yes. And he's calling members from the studio audience for their suggestions. Ah, moving wall, you say? That is a great suggestion. So as he says that, the wall in the back of the room, where there was a door behind you, it sort of, you hear it go, and it starts clicking and moving slowly forward. Let's take another suggestion from a member of our studio audience. Yes, you, sir. Stand up. Spikes? How sadistic! Wonderful! You heard him, Ted. Engage the spikes. And then the back wall holes open up in the wall, and then spikes slowly come forward out of that. And it's going closer and closer to you.
Oh, CeeLo, this place is fucked up.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but I'm in this pit, so I think I'm good. I'm just gonna chill here for a little bit, Obviously, nothing can harm me in a pit. Can't be, no.
I'm gonna keep going through the door.
Keep going through what door?
Well, he fell through a pit, and I'm a hovering beholder. So
Yeah,
I'm just gonna hover.
there's a door in front of the pit, and then there's the door in the moving wall that now has spikes protruding from that wall behind you. So there's 2 doors.
I don't think we should go through the spike door, man. It's probably not a good idea,
And I'm going to invoke my hero in training. When he says it's not a good idea because he's probably scared and it's dangerous, I look down, but CeeLo, I'm a hero! And I go off towards the spiked door.
You go off towards the door on the spiked wall?
Yeah, spiked wall, sorry.
Okay, it's not worth a fate point,
Okay.
because it's not really that dangerous. There's no spikes coming out of that door.
But I'm still going to do it.
Yeah, go ahead, go to that door. So you're in front of that door, and it's moving closer towards you.
So I try to open it.
So you wrap one of your eye stalks around the handle and try to pull it open?
Yeah.
So as you do that, you open the door. It opens effortlessly. And you see beyond that door the room in which you came through.
I turn back around, and I just dash as fast as I could hover to the door opposite, the first door I was going to go through, on the opposite side of the trap floor.
And then you hear, "Oh!" from the studio audience, and then the announcer, "Oh no! Oh, this sorry son of a bitch can fly!" And then back to you. So you try to open up the door.
Yeah, I wrap my eye stalk and I yank this one open.
You yank it open. It goes flying open, and then behind that door is the rest of the brick wall.
Shit, CeeLo! I might have to leave you behind again. And,
You hear
I'll
the
go-
studio audience as soon as you see the brick wall. The studio audience begins cheering again. Yeah! Hey! Woohoo! Did you think we weren't prepared for this inevitability? This is Let's Dungeon. So, Let's Dungeon. Back over to you.
So on the other side of the spiked wall is where we just came from. There's no other way this way. I'm gonna go hang out with my friend in the hole.
So you float down to the hole.
I'm coming to hang out, CeeLo.
All right.
Together.
Hey, maybe we can pound on the floor of this hole, and maybe that breaks down into the dungeon. I don't know.
I wanna compel your high concept, friendly neighborhood beholder. Would you like to take that compel?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so as you're flying down the hole, as you go to fly down the hole, you run into the problem of a round peg through a square hole. You can't fit. It's too much of a tight squeeze, and your round bulbous form can't fit.
Hmm.
And you hear the announcer come back, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, a round peg through a square hole. Unfortunately for him, does not work." Tim, put the applause sign on. Come on, get with it, get with it. Yeah! Woohoo! Yeah! Back over to you two.
And with that, I will use my a friend in need is a friend indeed, and climb out of the hole and say, Quincy, start getting into the hole. And I will jump onto Quincy and just start jumping on top of him, trying to smush him in there.
All right. So, go ahead. You don't even need to roll. It's fine. So Quincy got a fate point, but CeeLo lost a fate point. So CeeLo, you're at 3. No, CeeLo, you're at 2, and Quincy, you're at 4. So you get down the hole, and you're in darkness, and then you hear above you, and the trapdoor begins to close. And as it does so, as soon as it closes, lights turn on. And these aren't torch lights. These are actual, like, stage lights. Little LED bulbs. And after a second of turning on, you see that there's a wall behind you, a wall in front of you, a wall on either side of you, and then it goes on into the darkness. And then the first 4 LED lights, one at a time, they begin going forward, like on an airstrip, but they're on either corner. They're on, 2 ceiling corners and 2 floor corners, and they start going forward. And after a minute of going forward, you notice that a few feet in front of you, there are a set of gargoyle faces on either side of the wall. Then a little bit further on, there's another pair of gargoyle faces. These faces, some of them open up, and water begins to pour out. And when that happens, you notice that you're on the bottom of an incline. So you have to go up to go down the hall. And then the other ones open up, and water begins to pour out of them. And as this happens, by those of you with feet, you start to feel the water coming down and raising up at the bottom. And you hear the announcer saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, they've made it to the water trap."
I'm going to hop on top of Quincy just because I don't like getting my feet wet and, kind of hang on there to some of his eye stalks, getting a grip and a good seat on top of Quincy. and look at him and hey, what's the plan?
And smoke is beginning to fill up the room like a fog or a mist, actually.
Could I use my been there, done that to see if I've maybe been in a dungeon like this before? And
Sure.
maybe.
Give me a wisdom roll.
All right.
Mm.
So that's going to be a 4.
A 4.
Yep.
You've managed to see a similar trap to this. It's a water trap, and the mist is usually some sort of chemical. There's been various forms used in the mist. Some are ignitable, some are poisonous, some are like sleepy time mists. You know, a whole slew of traps that use this same sort of construction. So it's nothing new to you. You've seen this plenty of times in the past, but there's always slight variations to it.
I look at Quincy and I just say, hey, I think we should probably avoid any contact with that mist.
No, the mist is filling up the entire hall. It's a narrow, long hall.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Well, I don't think we'll be able to avoid contact with that mist. Oh shit!
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like our contestants are fucked. And then you hear them in the background. Yeah.
And I can't think with you standing on my head. Give me a second here.
All right. And I'll hop off.
Maybe we should just go down.
I would like to compel Silo Sibens obsessed with muscly men.
Okay.
Are you gonna accept the compel?
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of hopping down, what Silo does is that he notices when he hops on top of Quincy's just massive head, his eye stalks. You can actually feel the tendons tensing and flexing as his eyes are moving around. When he talks, you can feel these massive jaw muscles just harden up, and it's like, even though he doesn't look like your typical muscly man, you can tell that he's just a huge ball of nothing but muscle underneath there. Like, you could feel the tendons and everything, and you're just reminded of oiling down a very muscly hero.
Quincy, I don't, you know what? I think I'll just stay up here. You got some modified eye stalks.
Would you stop rubbing my left eye stalk?
No.
You're creepier in this dungeon.
And as you guys are talking, you can feel Quincy can now feel the water at the base of his form as the water is rising higher and higher as you're deciding upon what to do.
I look up. What do I see up?
You see the ceiling. You know, you see the.
And we're slanted like this, right?
Yeah. Oh, you look down the hall?
We're slanted like this. Yeah, I would look down the hall if I can.
Yeah. You're slanted like this. There's just a little bit of a lip before it starts going up.
Okay.
And as you're looking down, it's darkness, but you have several little lights in the corners trailing down the hall. And all you can perceive is the same sort of thing. The entire hall is filling up with this mist, and the mist is rolling down, and it's almost to you guys, although the water is already really high. And our contestant,
I am going to whip my whip around in a fan-like motion and trying to build up speed to try to get this mist going in the other direction of us.
You're trying to whip your whip. Okay, you can attempt to whip your whip.
So, all right, that's
Strength. Strength.
Okay. A 0.
A 0, and the camera pans over to the announcer, and he's looking at the camera, his eyes wide and confused, and his jaw slightly slack. Whip it! Whip it good! He tries to recover from the nonsense. Now
That's all
remember,
I had, Quincy. What do you got?
you guys. I hope you remember that for 2 fate points throughout the entirety of this session, you can use it only once for this session, but for the cost of 2 fate points, you can cut to commercial break,
Let's cut to commercial break.
and you have to narrate in an
Yo.
instant replay how you move forward. How do you conquer the room?
CeeLo.
You don't have to do it now, but I just want you to remember that is an option.
What's up,
Like I said-
Quincy?
I gotta go to the bathroom, so we need to cut to commercial break.
All right.
Contestant number 2, do not forget, you are in water. Nobody will know.
Woo-hoo.
So are you asking Alex to cut to commercial break?
Yeah.
Well, it's been requested that we cut to commercial break, so we will return after a word from our sponsors. And, it cuts to commercial break, and it comes back to the show. The cameras begin to fade in. So, Patrick, narrate the instant replay of how you guys managed to conquer this room and this trap in any way, shape, or form you want. And whatever traps you thought might have been in the room, or enemies you think might have been in the room, feel free to add them and embellish as much as you'd like.
Well, you see, it didn't matter because Quincy, immediately after he felt we went to commercial break, he started reading the minds of all the staff members nearby and all the people who had set up the traps and all the people behind the scenes that you guys won't see today. And he read all their minds, and then he grabbed CeeLo and he drove him right through to the next phase of the game.
And the camera pans over to Alex Ross again, the announcer, and he's just standing there. You see him looking at a separate screen. Is that what they did? I go away for one little coffee during commercial break, and that's what they did? That's not very entertaining. I'm glad we were in a commercial break.
It was actually a tea.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
sorry.
The camera's on me. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, they conquered the room. They went up and through the hall, through the mist, escaped the water. And we all know that water is a very, very dangerous object. And made it where? To the next room.
Oh.
Yeah. So you guys, you guys make it to the next room, and there's a treasure chest in front of you, to the left of you,
Oh, boy, treasure.
and to the right of you. Okay? The treasure chest to the right of you is old. The wood is cracked, and it seems to be spilling some coins. The treasure chest in front of you is painted red in many layers of paint. It almost looks like a toy. Right? It's the same size as all 3 treasure chests. They're all the same size, and they're all fairly large.
Well,
Then there's
obviously, it's the red treasure chest that we should get.
the treasure chest to the left of you is more like a normal treasure chest, and it's stained with a little bit of like thin white paint on it. And this room is illuminated by a single chandelier in the room. The door behind you is closed, and there's no visible door anywhere else. And as you can see, our contestants have a choice before them. There's 3 treasure chests in the room. One to the left, one in front, and one to the right. They may choose one and only one treasure chest. So what's their fate? Where will they go? What would they do?
I'd like to invoke
So,
friendly to a fault. And well, CeeLo, you're the best friend I've ever had. You get to pick.
All right. And with that, I would like to use my. Actually, no. I'll just. All right. I like red. You know, awesome things come from the color red. I'm gonna pick the red chest. It's obvious.
Okay. Not sure about that logic.
So, CeeLo, do you get off of Quincy to go choose the red chest, or does Quincy open it with you on top of him?
I am going to use my whip to hit the chandelier, swing off of Quincy, and land right in front of the red chest, and start to open it.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But I would like to you get to the chest. You get in front of the red chest. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You go to open the red chest, right?
Yes, sir.
So you go to open it, and it doesn't open right away. The other two chests begin to lower into the ground, and then the stone floor covers over the hole that they went down, and you open up the red chest. Right? Did you retract your whip from the chandelier, or you still have it on the chandelier?
Retract. Once I swung over, I would have whoop and put it back in my, waist.
So what you see inside this red treasure chest is a massive amount of oil, and it shoots out all over you. And as it shoots out towards you, Quincy, being a beholder, having so many eyes, it's very easy for you to notice that the chandelier is what in the hell is that? And the chandelier is shaking back and forth from CeeLo swinging on it, but it looks like it's lowering now as it's going back and forward. And you hear a click, click, click.
What do I see, though?
The chandelier is coming down.
Okay.
It's getting lower and lower, and you heard it click twice already. It's making its way towards the third swing, and CeeLo is covered from head to toe in black, viscous oil.
Well, I like golden showers, but I don't like no black showers.
I will, Quincy, being the hero that he is going to dash and dash towards CeeLo here and try to save him and push him out of the way. But I'm also going to warn him ahead of time, being that I'm not the biggest or the strongest, so that I'm going to use my telepathic bond to warn him, so that I can help him rotate to be in the right position, so that I even have a chance to do this.
Okay, so as you're going to do this, it cuts over to Alex Ross. And he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like this stage of the game, early in the show, our contestants are already about to turn on each other." And you, are you trying to you're just trying to push him out of the way?
I'm gonna grab him. I'm gonna make sure with my telepathic bond that he turns around. The technique is gonna be called group hug, and. And then I'm with all my flight speed, I'm hopefully going to grab us both and get him out of the way of the chandelier. That's my only...
All right, you know that beholders don't fly very fast, right?
Very slow.
I'm a hero!
All right. So roll...
That's why I need the group hug.
Give me a strength roll.
And... I will invoke my hero in training for a fate point.
Okay.
So... Oh, God.
Wow! So you failed. All right. Now, in Fate, as I was telling you earlier before, Patrick, and I don't know if you know Andrew, or any of you viewers out there, you can fail a roll, but it's your choice to succeed for a major consequence.
This is
a major cost. You can still succeed, but it will be at a major cost. The choice is yours.
Halfway through, Quincy would know, I don't got the speed to make it happen. And so all he's gonna do is he's gonna go, and with his main eye, he's gonna like belly flop CeeLo, knowing that that's gonna push CeeLo out of the way, but he's still gonna get hit. And hopefully I'm invoking friendly with a fault here to get a fate point, I don't know. But either way, that's the consequence I'm choosing.
A friend to a fault?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a hit for him.
Sure. Okay, you can have the fate point, right?
But it has nothing to do with this. Yeah, I got you.
Now the chandelier, at the third time you hear it click, and it's gonna hit you. All right, roll. Give me a defense roll. Right.
Which is what's my
no. Friendly to a fault. You're taking the hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna give it a quick roll to see if you take any quick damage from it.
CeeLo, continue without me.
You'll take one.
I'll come back and help you, buddy.
One quick point of stress. Well, one shift of damage.
Okay.
From being hit. Well, you are just one head, so from being hit by this large chandelier, but the candles on the chandelier, when you belly flopped CeeLo out of the way, the oil that he was covered in got all over the front of you, and it ignites. So, give me a. So now.
Stop, drop, and roll! Stop, drop, and roll!
So, well, it cuts. Oh, and he cuts out. But while we wait for Andrew to come back, it cuts back over to Alex Ross, the announcer. And you see him swiftly turn around to the camera, and the camera swiftly sort of rotate around him towards his back, and you see the entire studio audience, and they're just sitting there, just motionless, like, oh. And then the announcer, Alex Ross, raises up his hands. Ha ha! And when he does so, the entire studio audience just starts crying out a huge roar, cheering. Ah! Yeah! Yeah! And as this is happening, Alex Ross is walking back and forth across his stage. Several cameras panning in at him, and he's addressing the actual studio audience now. And you hear him, yes! No, that was fucking awesome, or was that fucking awesome? It was absolutely wonderful. Contestants! Is it getting hot in there, or is it just me? As it goes, as the cameras go back over to our lovely contestants.
CeeLo, I'm on fucking fire here. A little hand, please.
No problem. And I will jump onto him and start patting him down, but you more see psilocybin just kind of like groping him in the huge head.
All right.
Get the fire off.
Since you're actually jumping on him, and you're still covered in this black viscous oil, and he's on fire, you literally added fuel to the fire.
CeeLo, man, what the fuck?
So there's a new aspect, situational aspect, called fuel to the fire. All right, and CeeLo, roll me a quick. You jumped on him. I don't even think you should get a deck save, but I allowed what you call to get a deck save, right? Oh no, you're both on fire. All right, so it's gonna go back over to the fire, right? Fire's burning away at you, and I would like you guys. Well, the fire's burning on you. Roll defenses. Roll a dexterity defense to see if you could stop, drop, and roll or do something about this.
Awesome. So I rolled a 5.
Oh God. Okay, so Patrick, my friend, CeeLo, you're good.
Yeah! Stop, drop, and roll!
You're good. You stopped and you dropped and you rolled and rolled and rolled, and apparently, like, the fire is off of you and now on the floor. Right? Somehow this snaky little old half elf managed to just rub and grind every stone on this floor and got every drop and everything of this burning oil on fire, mind you, off of him. And yeah, but our friendly neighborhood beholder, poor thing, he takes 6 shifts of damage.
The horror!
So, um, you can only fill out 1 stress box at any one given time. So you have the stress box with 1 filled out now already, correct?
Yep.
And the only one you could fill out that's your best option right now is the stress box that is a 3, right? But you still have 3 shifts of damage left over, so you're going to take a consequence. And it's the lowest consequence you can take is a moderate, since there's a mild, which is 2, and a moderate, which is 4.
Moderate, then.
So right now your consequence is going to be that you're blind.
Okay.
Looks like you still got some oil in them eyes, Quincy.
You know, and it's burning away. And now you have like a majority of your main eye and a majority of your eye stalks shut. Closed shut, and the camera, as soon as you close your eyes, the camera was zooming in on the flaming ball that is Quincy. And it sees that Quincy shuts his eyes, and as Quincy shuts his eyes, the camera quickly cuts to Alex Ross, our announcer. And you can see him. He's covered in like dancing little orbs of light going all over the place. And there's a disco ball above him shining down. And he's, doing the whole John Travolta disco dance. And he's saying, "Burn, baby, burn! Woo-hoo!" And the entire audience is joining him in a chant, going, "Burn, burn, 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 burn." Back over to you two, gentlemen.
And then all of a sudden, out of one of Quincy's eyes comes out what probably to a lot of other people they're expecting a death ray, but what comes out is just several, out of all of his little stalks that are now burnt, just several bubbles. They just start coming out of all of his stalks. And then, the announcer probably has a line for that, but there's just bubbles, and they're going all over the fire. And I'm going to try to put out the fire using That's No Death Ray.
Alright, that's no death ray. And, once per session, you may eliminate 1 situational aspect using Quincy's cuteness. So, which you're still blind because that's not a situational aspect.
I know.
That's a consequence.
Yep. I want to put the fire out.
All right. So you put the fire out, right?
Bubbles everywhere.
As you start shooting bubbles, some of them actually start carrying away this viscous fluid, and some of them were from the viscous fluid, and they start to float in the air as flaming bubbles, and they just burn away until it's nothing. So you're no longer on fire. You managed to use all your bubbles to get off a fire, and then the camera cuts to the announcer, and he goes, "You know what? That reminds me of a very, very fine joke. Would you like to hear it, audience?"
Oh, yeah, woo!
And he goes, "All right, the first joke is a dirty joke. Would you like to hear a dirty joke? I fell in the mud. Would you like to hear a clean joke? I took a bath with bubbles. Would you like to hear a dirty joke? Of course you would, because it's being told by me, and I'm awesome. I took a bath with Bubbles. Would you like to hear a dirty joke? This is the last one. I promise. I promise. Bubbles was the next door neighbor. And the studio audience is completely quiet. He goes, motherfuckers, that's the applause sign right there. Anyway, back to our contestants.
Great balls of fire, CeeLo! You made that situation worse!
Well, it does look like you got a nice tan going on now.
Tan? I'm fucking crispy!
Yeah, tan. Tomato, potato.
So how will you gentlemen like to proceed? As
I can't even fucking see! Grab onto one of my stalks
oh yeah, that's right. CeeLo, what CeeLo can see is that after he went to that chest, the chest starts to go into the ground, and it's lowering into a trapdoor. But this trapdoor doesn't go shut. Some stone goes a little bit forward, and then a little bit beneath that it goes forward, and a little bit beneath that it goes forward, and then the wall begins to dip inward and create a staircase going down. But only CeeLo sees this.
I will hop on to Quincy and say, don't worry, man. I'm going to move your eye stalks, and you just go in the direction I'll move them. And I'll start moving them down towards the stairs.
Give me a dexterity check.
Yeah?
No, not dexterity. I think this would be either wisdom or intelligence.
Okay. And I'll use my been there, done that for +2 wisdom. So that is going to be a wait. Oh, 4.
You're fine.
Awesome.
You're steering him like a car. Like a
I got this.
car.
This is fun!
So you go down the staircase. And then you go into a room. This room is not lit by... No. This room is another very long hallway. Right? And there's a lot of chandeliers in this hallway. And a bunch of gargoyle heads on the walls. What do you guys do about that?
Those gargoyles are creepier than you, CeeLo. Let's watch out for them.
You're blind. You don't see anything.
Hey, Quincy!
I saw it through my other.
You ever seen gargoyles before?
Only when I was a kid on TV.
Well, I wonder what they want. Maybe they want something. I don't know. They haven't attacked me, though. They're just looking at me kind of creepy-like.
If you want, CeeLo, I'll be your friend. I'll go check it out for you. Just throw me over there.
All right. I'll direct you.
No, I want to. What do you start doing?
I want to start directing them towards the gargoyles.
I was invoking friendly to a fault as a trouble there, to volunteer to blindly go where no beholder has gone before.
Okay, so you're blindly going, and what you don't see is that, well, you don't see, but you can feel, is that you're trudging through some moist stuff. It feels thick. It's a little hard for you to fly through. It's posing some resistance. But yeah, go ahead. Take a fate point as you don't bother to rise or lower, because CeeLo is piloting you through this very viscous and slick moisture.
CeeLo, the fuck are you doing to me right now?
Oh, don't worry about it. As you see me just kind of caress his eye stalks.
Actually, I would like to compel his trouble of obsessed with muscly men and muscles once again.
Of course.
Okay, so take a fate point. And
Okay.
what CeeLo will do is that he reaches down into this black viscous oil, very similar to the oil that was shot through the chest, and he starts rubbing it on. He starts rubbing it on on Quincy and then on his eye stalks. And then as the oil gets thinner and thinner, the blackness sort of fades into this amber. And in the light of the candles of this chandelier, it is giving off a magical glow. A magical and muscly glow.
Oh yeah, that's a sexy beholder. Mm.
There you
go. Where? Oh, me? Oh, fuck.
And it looks like this game show is going to be going in a very different direction quite fast. I do apologize to both our viewing and studio audience.
Well, I guess I'm blind, so I can't really see. Does it really count, then?
So how do you guys proceed?
CeeLo, what do you see?
Well, I see some gargoyle heads.
You want me to fight it? I'm ready.
Let's do it. And I'd like to whip one of the gargoyle heads right across the face to see if it invokes anything.
You whip a gargoyle head and nothing happens. Your whip just smacks across its face. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't move. It's a stone gargoyle head.
What other points of interest are there in the room? Is there a door?
All the way at the end of this very long hall, it looks like there's upward going staircases. It's quite a bit of a float over, made longer because of you're floating in the oil. And there's the gargoyle heads they're just in a pattern every so often repeating, one on either side of the wall, and then the room is lit by chandeliers above head.
CeeLo, I'm trying to read your mind, but I'm not getting anything. What the fuck's going on?
I would like to compel Quincy's telepathic bond. And that's a yeah?
Yep.
Awesome. So take a fate point as Quincy's trying to see through CeeLo's eyes. And as he feels CeeLo basically oiling him up, in CeeLo's eyes, in CeeLo's mind, you see like massive muscly men and muscles. Him rubbing his hands on these muscles, but you felt his hands on your eye stalks. His hands oiling a very muscular back as he's oiling the top of your bulbous form, your head. And these visions go on, and you can even hear a tune inside CeeLo's head. And the tune is oddly out of place because you can hear CeeLo whistling in his head.
Whoa! I'm never gonna read his mind again.
And for the actual mechanical part of that compel, you shake CeeLo off of you.
Get the fuck off, CeeLo!
Oh man!
So,
oh my god!
CeeLo, you go crashing into the oil. This dark black viscous slick oil. It fully engulfs you. He tossed you in there.
All right.
So yeah, how would you gentlemen like to proceed?
After that, I think Quincy's gonna float towards the staircase, spirally staircase going up.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna float on over there all by himself.
So you're like bumping into the walls and whatnot.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know because if I have to, I'll use telepathic bond to like I had an image of the room when he was on me from inside his head. Maybe I don't know. So I will clumsily
No,
try to
he.
make my way.
All you saw was like Baywatch happening in his head.
God damn it! And so yeah, I'll bump into the wall until I find something.
And are you still floating, moving through the oil, or you're actually levitating a bit higher?
Now that I don't have him on me, I'm gonna try to float up, and I don't want to touch the oil because I don't know what it is. It reminds me of CeeLo.
Okay. So let me figure out what role do I want you to roll. Let's get a wisdom. Uh, let's get a wisdom. Let's say you got a quick image of the room, ever so slight, and roll either a wisdom, your choice, a wisdom or intelligence. Okay. So you start floating up.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna invoke. Can I invoke like telepathic bond here one time to use his image of the room to try to give myself a chance to navigate
Yeah.
better?
Yeah. So you can re-roll, or you can modify it by a +2. It's actually a 3, the
So I'll
difficulty.
modify it by +2.
So you can succeed with a minor consequence. By just making it and not getting above it, you succeed, but it's at a minor consequence.
I'm gonna try to actually also use. I'm actually a scary monster. To use like my monster kind of fearlessness and like just you hear Quincy like
Well,
and I'm just trying to like,
the stunts. Remember, the stunts are very specific.
yeah.
The stunts aren't aspects. Aspects you can use slightly more creatively.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So I'll take just the minor consequence then. That's all I
just
got.
just the minor consequence. All right. So you start floating up out of the oil, and you said you were bumping into the wall, right?
Yeah.
So the minor consequence is that I don't even think that's minor. I think that might be major. All right. So we'll just say you succeed, and you float up, you bump the chandelier, and you manage to stop just short of tipping the chandelier and its candles onto you and into the oil.
Okay.
And you know that if you're floating above the oil, that you're just so large that you're gonna start hitting the chandeliers, even at the perfect point. You stopped at the perfect point. The oil is not contacting you on the bottom, but the very bottoms of the chandelier are hitting your head and your eye stalks. And since you're blind, you don't really know exactly where they are spatially.
Cool.
And CeeLo, what are you doing, CeeLo?
I'd like to jump back on to Quincy and start rubbing his eye stalks more.
Quincy
I'd like
Quincy flew down a little bit. You want to chase after him?
Yes, of course.
So you start chasing after him. You start chasing him. And you start saying "coochie coochie coo," and right before you get close enough to get to him, you can feel the floor beneath your feet sort of sink down, and you don't know how, but you manage to hear a click. Do you continue walking forward, or do you stop in your tracks?
We might need a commercial break there, CeeLo. Quincy's got to use the little beholder's room.
And you can hear in the background the musical cue, dun dun dun. So, Andrew, if you're talking, you're muted.
I'm going to use my free action to unmute my microphone. And then, with a friend in need's a friend indeed, I will listen to Quincy and call to the announcers. I think we need a commercial break. Yeah, commercial break.
Well, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. We will be going to our second commercial break of the evening. This will be our last commercial break for our scheduled programming. When we return, you'll find out what happens to our contestants. And again, you hear dun dun dun. So you know it fades out. It goes to another commercial break. You can see several people, several insane-looking people running around covered in blood, and it says another SOS Productions as the saga continues. Here cometh the axe. New episodes coming out this fall, and it comes back from its commercial break. So now, Andrew, you get to narrate in any way you wish. You can elaborate, embellish. You create whatever situation you want to create that is this room, the traps, animals, creatures, whatever it is. You do your instant replay of how this room, this hall, was conquered.
And I don't know, I know what monsters were in there, but I didn't see it before commercial break, correct?
Well,
just
create it. Feel free.
Okay, awesome. See,
for completing this scene, you are now the DM for this scene, this instant replay.
Okay, so you see psilocybin go into the door, and there's this just giant looking behemoth of a Goliath man, just rippled and muscles, and he looks at psilocybin with his axe, and psilocybin looks at him and is like, Greg, is that you? What are you doing here, Greg? Oh, shit! And you see psilocybin run over and start to give Greg a huge back massage as Greg's just like, oh, God, yeah. And then it quits commercial break. As he defeats the giant Goliath.
No, this is the instant replay after the commercial break. After the commercial break.
Well, you would see that in psilocybin's mind. Oh, shit.
So Quincy will take over if you don't have an idea.
No. It's his commercial break.
All right.
He has to narrate it, or he can keep the 2 fate points, and we just continue.
You're going to see psilocybin hop onto Quincy, direct his eye stalks as far as he can towards the next door, and just slam in through the stage in the door, trying to cause a explosion and create the next scene.
All right. And because the nature of this room, you do get the explosion. The explosion happens in the form of a fireball, as you leapt off of the pressure plate beneath your feet onto Quincy. The chandeliers begin to click and fall one by one into the oil, igniting the oil. So you guys are chased by a giant flaming wall of hell. Entering the next room, and the door shut. Right? And with the door shut, you see a giant muscly Goliath. And the whole scene that Andrew narrated now happens, and he's in Greg's arms, massaging his muscles and the whole nine. Though Quincy wouldn't see. Quincy sees nothing.
What's going on? What are I here running and I don't feel it?
Oh, don't worry, I'll get to you too. There's enough for me to go around.
Oh,
and you hear the announcer Alex Ross come back, and it looks like the old elf has finally found his dream. He finally found his dream man. What will happen? Will he leave? Contestant number 2. Will they still be a team? Or are they having another little spat? Let's find out! Back to our contestants.
Hey, CeeLo! We're like a TM, right? You know, TM? Like team?
Yeah, yeah, Greg. I know you like that, Greg. Oh, yeah, Quincy, yeah. Team. That's right.
I got
And
fucking blinded for you, you little fucking creep.
yeah. You're right. I saw Greg. I know Greg. I know Greg. Okay. I will call you, Greg, after this. All right, Quincy. Let's
You know
do
what?
this.
Fuck you, Greg. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and blind, you can't see this. CeeLo can, as CeeLo Simon jumps out of Greg's arms. He was covered in this oil. CeeLo was covered in the oil, and Greg has the oil all over him, and he starts to rub the oil on his chest, and then his arms, and then his giant bulging biceps. Then he straightens it out, flexes the tricep, and he starts oiling the tricep, and then his forearms, and you know. And he's staring right at CeeLo the whole entire time without even flinching.
My
And
telepathic bond is telling me
music
there's some creepiness going on.
music that you can both hear starts playing over the loudspeakers. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Just constantly as he's just rubbing this viscous oil all over him and rubbing it out until it's a thin sheen of amber highlighting his muscles. Still, just staring straight into CeeLo's eyes. Whenever CeeLo would manage,
I'm gonna move. Okay, so using my telepathic bond,
Oh,
Quincy's gonna know there's a problem. I need to separate these two. Quincy's gonna know there's a problem. I'm reading CeeLo's mind. I'm not liking it, but I still sense there's a problem. So I dive in between, and I'm actually a scary monster to try to scare this motherfucker away from CeeLo.
are you using your fate point so you can invoke the telepathic bond?
I will use a fate point for telepathic bond. I will use actually just a scary monster, and I'm going to use it on my charisma.
Okay, roll it.
Do I roll a 5 or a +3 and add 2?
Roll it at 5 because 3 plus 2 is still 5. So.
Right. There's a lot more that can go wrong.
You do that, and you're blind, but in reaching into CeeLo's mind, you get that disturbing vision, right? And you notice that disturbing vision that you once saw in CeeLo's mind while he was rubbing you, you don't even see it as a vision. You notice that that's what CeeLo's actually looking at right now. And you jump in between CeeLo and Greg, and you're like, you do your scary monster thing. You can tell me how you do your scary monster thing.
I jump out, and instead of I'm like, hey, get the fuck out of here! And it just completely warps out. I will fucking blast you! And it's just even CeeLo's like, what the fuck?
And Greg, this large, muscle-bound, oiled-up Goliath, he just screams, "Ah!" And he just starts running away down the stairs in which you two just came. And the announcer, the cameras cut back to the announcer, and he goes, "Oh my God, who knew that the beholder was actually a very scary monster?" And
Quincy, was that you or my finger?
I think it was both.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, you guys are presented in this room. There's 2 hallways leading out. Okay, there's a hallway. They're both in front of you. One's towards the left, and one is towards the right. The hallway towards the right has a picture of a bucket of water carved above the passageway. The doorway to the left, God bless you, brother. The doorway to the left has a picture of 3 doors carved above the doorway. There's no doors covering these halls, but that's what you see carved above the entryways. And the camera cuts to the announcer, Alex Ross, and he goes, "Well, look what we have here. We have 1 doorway to the left, 1 towards the right. 2 contestants, 2 choices. Again, will they stay together? Will there be camaraderie between the old-ass half-elf and our friendly neighborhood beholder, who in fact in all actuality is a very scary monster? Or will they go their separate ways? One towards the left, one towards the right. I don't know. Let's see, contestants. And goes back
I'll
to
leave.
you.
Well, I've been with you for this long. Which door do you want, Quincy? I'll give you this choice. Right or left?
Let's go right, because
All right.
yeah.
No, I will direct his eye stalks towards the right door.
Okay, so you basically lead him down the right hall. The hall on the right was the one with the picture of the bucket carved above the entryway. And the hall goes down for a little bit. As you guys are walking, it looks a little dim, a little dark. You know, as the torches aren't fully lit, but they're just sort of just barely lit, just having a very eerie glow. And then you enter a room where the floor is no longer stone. CeeLo can, obviously see that the floor becomes a dirt floor, and Quincy hears CeeLo's feet that were going tung 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 tung, on the solid stone surface. Now it's very hard to hear CeeLo, as his footsteps are greatly muffled. When you when you cross this threshold, the hallway behind you, a stone slab falls inside the hallway and actually seals it off from you guys, and you're trapped in this giant room with a dirt floor. There is apparently a ceiling, but it's too high to be lit in this darkness, and it seems to start raining in this room. Water is coming down from the shadows above. Quincy just feels liquid, just a slightly cooler liquid. On Quincy's flesh, it feels almost soothing as it begins to wash the residual oil off of him. CeeLo, again, the oil is being washed off as well. And at this point, how would you two gentlemen react to this?
Oh, finally, we're outside! Yay! Right, CeeLo? Right?
You don't feel the warmth of any sun or anything.
Yeah, about that. No.
Oh, fuck this! Well, what do we see then?
Just some dirt. A lot of dirt. And darkness. Darkness. And, I think that's rain coming. I'm gonna stick my finger out. That's some of what I think is rain, and put it into my mouth and taste it.
And it cuts over to the announcer, Alex Ross. And he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, he is tasting to see if that is rain. In fact, it is. Unfortunately for him, this is not a golden shower. We did take note that that's what he wanted, but in this scene, that is not the case. But enough."
Yeah, it's just a normal shower, Quincy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's raining, you see dirt, it's fucking dark, and you're telling me we're not outside? I'm the blind one? Come on, man.
CeeLo starts to notice that the dirt, of course, in rain, is starting to become mud as it's soaking up all the water. But the ground is becoming really soft as it's becoming mud and becoming liquidy. What does CeeLo and Quincy do at this point?
I'm giving up.
I'm gonna jump on top of Quincy if I'm not already on top of him. At first.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I guess
Oh, you know you love it.
Friendly Quincy. For Quincy does everything. Quincy do this. All right, let's go.
And you're gonna see CeeLo just straddle his biggest eye stalk, like, yeah, that's my friendly beholder. You know you like it.
So you let him jump on your back, on top of you, Quincy?
I guess so.
All right. Right now, the scene aspects are, water from the sky and really really muddy floor, right? And I want to compel. Uh, I want to compel Quincy, right? And I want to compel his telepathic bond.
Okay.
At this point, you have what? 3 fate points remaining.
Yeah, so I'm at 4.
And Andrew, you have what? 2.
Yep, 2.
Okay, so Patrick goes back up. Quincy goes back up to 4 fate points. And as CeeLo grabs one of Quincy's eye stalks, he gets a quick piercing image through his mind as he sees inadvertently, while reaching out telepathically, his bond with CeeLo. He sees that as CeeLo is reaching out, CeeLo is almost looking at Quincy as if it were that giant, as if you were that giant, muscle-bound barbarian, and you can just feel the thoughts in CeeLo's mind that you are strong, you are curvaceous, and you are wet, and this is quite disturbing to you. So you do not let him jump on your head.
CeeLo, get the fuck off! Didn't we talk about this? You can't jump on me for 2 seconds. Well, you know.
Oh, come on! You feel just like Greg. Greg.
Trying to save your life here. I will fly up. I want to fly up to the water. The water's coming from the sky, you said, and I want to seek that out. So I'm going to slowly hover on the side of the waterfall, and I'm going to hover. And I'm going to go all the way up.
The beholders really can't fly that high. More they hover.
I'm riding the waterfall, though. No.
You're riding the waterfall. All right. You know what? You fly up into the darkness, and hear the announcer. Yet again another lovers' quarrel from both contestant numbers 1 and 2. This, I'm afraid, may continue on for the rest of our show. I hope you enjoy. I know I am. And CeeLo, you see Quincy disappearing into shadow above you. And as you see that, you start to slowly sink into the mud a little bit.
How far up is Quincy?
He's out of sight right now.
Hmm.
He flew far enough up until he got to the darkness.
Is it just mud around me? I mean, do I see anything else around, like maybe on the walls or something like that? Or
You haven't moved from your spot yet. You can try searching the room.
yeah, I'm gonna try to water around in the mud and kind of search the room for anything, any hard surface or something.
Sure, the walls are just the stone cobblestone walls. But as you're searching, you're sinking deeper and deeper until you're almost knee deep in the mud, and you've picked up enough of this mud in your boots to where your boot, it's grabbing right onto your boot. It's outside and it's fallen in your boot. Now your boot's just like a huge suction cup. You can't move any further while wearing these boots. Quincy, however, he keeps flying up.
Get your fat ass over here!
Until he gets to where the water's coming, and he's blind, and he starts hearing, contestant number 1. No, that's number 2, right? Yeah, the one with all the eyes is number 2. That's contestant number 2, not number 1. No, not number 1. Number 2. Number 2. Whatever the hell you are, dude. You can't be this high up. You got to be part of the show. That's what you signed on for.
What? Motherfucker! I was just looking for something. Can you wipe my eye? My eye hurts.
So are you trying to create an advantage?
Yep.
All right, so you want to create an advantage that will allow these guys to help you with your eye problem. Uh, However,
You must have some paramedics nearby this dangerous competition, motherfucker.
um, just so you know, this you're blinded not from anything temporary. It's
No, I know.
it's a consequence, and a mild consequence requires an entire session to heal from.
That's all I got.
So, all right. So, give me a charisma roll. See if they'll try to help you out.
And I explained to them that, you should do this for me because I'm a hero in training. I'm going to be amazing someday. And
All right. They try to help you out with your eye stalks. You know, they're grabbing them and trying to aim them towards the water spots they were using. They start to get slightly in focus. Everything is fuzzy, right? So just change blind to blurred vision.
Oh, wicked.
Blurred vision, you're not going to be able to get rid of, but now like your attacks and anything requiring sight is at a -4.
I won't need that creep anymore.
All right, so you're at -4 right now for your anything requiring vision.
Okay.
Okay. It's really, really, really dim up here. You could tell that, and they're hiding as they're working machines and stuff to basically pour water, sprinkle massive amounts of water like a rainstorm. He goes, "Go ahead, go back to the show, go back to the show." And you see one walk over to a metal sheet and starts flicking it, and it sounds like thunder. And down below, CeeLo, stuck in the mud, you're starting to hear thunder accompanied with this rain.
And I'll just dive down the hole.
Oh, great!
As you go down, you can see a small little light sort of blinking on and off. You know, bloop, bloop. And then the light above the light, there's a sort of reflective surface. Looks like the lens of a camera hiding in the darkness. And you can hear a sound effect as you're rapidly flying down. So
And when
you
I
get
hit the
down
water,
yeah.
you just hear like a splash, and then I go about a foot above the water.
All right. So you hit what it is the mud. The mud is so soft right now. You know, it's like so you got mud all over the bottom of yourself.
CeeLo!
Yeah, Quincy, where'd you go?
I went upstairs. I talked to the man upstairs. He healed
What'd you find?
Praise boom. I still don't know what we can do in this room. I'm still confused as to what we do. So,
well, nobody. You've only looked straight up. CeeLo has looked to the point where he got stuck in the mud, but a little bit away from CeeLo, you can see what looks like the outline of a door, but everything looks like cobblestone, or not cobblestone, fieldstone. Forgive me.
I'm gonna go try this door, CeeLo. You should come.
Well, I would, but I'm kind of stuck in this mud. You mind giving me a hand?
Motherfucker, I don't got no hands.
A stock, motherfucker. You know what I meant.
And then it cuts to Alex Ross, and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here from contestant number 1. Let's give him a hand." Yeah.
And then give him a stock and I try to pull him out.
All right. His boots are stuck though.
Yeah. Well.
Can I wiggle my feet out of the boots?
I'm gonna try with my strength.
You can whittle your feet out the boots.
Okay.
Roll dexterity. See if you can create an advantage that gives Quincy a +2.
Oh crap! Oh. All right. That is a 3.
Okay, so yeah, you created an advantage, no problem. Quincy, you could help him out with a +2. Should just do a quick strength.
My strength is 1, so with the +2 would be 3.
Yeah.
And then this would be like a hero in training. I'm saving my damsel in distress.
Remember, you can choose to invoke that
Yeah.
after the roll.
Oh, okay. I can choose that after. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you whip him out. He flies right out of his boots. As a matter of fact, it looks like some mud wanted to follow him, through the back pressure, but it just gets sucked out of the air down into the boot that you whip him out so fast. And he's on top of you right now, with a pair of old stinky moist elf feet.
Don't get too comfortable. And I toss him down.
You toss him back into the mud?
Well, no, if that's all we have still around us, I guess I'll hold on to him and I'll float around.
A little bit away.
Yeah, okay, to the door, and I'll drop him where the stone is. Don't get too comfortable.
Yeah. So you can clearly see that this stone wall, this field stone, is just to make it a little bit more difficult to see the door beyond. And as you drop him before this door, the rain, the water falling from the sky begins to dissipate until it's nothing. And you just hear some birds. There's no additional light that comes on whatsoever, but you can hear in the distance some birds just tweeting, and then you can hear the music playing in the background. Or along with the sound of birds, though no additional light is provided. And the door just sort of opens up into a dark hall.
Sounds like lunch.
Well, let's go. I can barely see. You lead the way.
All right.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, you'll see psilocybin start going down this dark hall towards the bird noises.
No, they were coming from the other room.
Oh.
It was just to mimic,
Gotcha.
morning, but no light.
Yeah.
So you start heading down this dark hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start like walking or running or skipping or what? Well, those of you that can walk.
I'm trying to convince him to run. We're running out of time.
No, that's why I'm asking, because you said that.
Yeah.
As he says run, I'll be like, oh, all right. And you'll see psilocybin just start skipping the only way he really knows how to run.
Okay, so as he starts skipping, the camera cuts to the announcer really quick, and he's just raising an eyebrow quizzically, and he goes, "Oh, what song did we play for that? Did we expect that to happen? What kind of people are you hiring to run this show?" And it cuts back to the contestants. And Quincy, you're flying as fast as you can.
Yeah. I don't want to lose the blurry image of psilocybin in front of me.
Yeah, it's even harder to see because this is almost complete darkness in this room. There just seems to be a very, very faint bluish glow coming from around you. And you start like flying and running and skipping. And Quincy, you feel that your altitude is just drifting off. You're becoming lower and lower to the floor. And CeeLo, every time you skip, every time you land, you seem to be landing harder and having more difficulty taking off into that skip. Until you guys eventually get to the point where CeeLo, roll me a Constitution defense as you land on your skip, and Quincy, you roll me a Constitution defense as you hit the floor and begin to just roll.
So that is going to be a 2 for CeeLo.
Okay, CeeLo rolls a 2.
And I'm going to invoke my hero in training to stop, drop, and tumble, motherfucker. So I'm gonna take a point off. To get
Alright. And you're gonna reroll, or you're gonna add a +2?
+3, yeah.
A +2, because the difficult. What did you get, Andrew?
No, it's a +1 I got right now, so I'm saying a total of +3.
Yeah, total.
My con is a +2, and I just got a nothing, not a minus or a plus.
Okay, so Quincy succeeds at a cost, and CeeLo just straight up fails. You got a 0, unmodified thing, so you take 3 shifts of damage, psilocybin, as you land on caltrops on the floor. You're Andrew?
All right. You see Silsop fall, ah! And call out for Quincy to help him.
So you could take the 3 shift stress box, since you can, and Quincy makes it at a minor cost. So what would you say your minor cost would be?
I can't like stress it, eh? It's hard to. It's Quincy, eh? So, you know, I would think he gets. I don't know. He gets disoriented, and he's dizzy. I don't know.
Okay, so he gets a little disoriented from the rolling around, but that rolling helped him to hover slightly as he was rolling on this caltrop floor. And then it cuts to Alex Ross, the announcer, and he looks in the camera and he's doing the whole announcer smile, with the bright eyes, and he goes, "Caltrops provided by Oh My Stars." And then it fades back over to you guys in this very, very dark room where it's extraordinarily hard to see, and the floor is covered in caltrops. Well, your area of the floor is obviously covered in caltrops.
Quincy, I need a Raja.
Well, friendly to a fault, I'll reach in. I'll hover down towards where my blurry vision and my dizziness.
You're on the floor currently. You can't hover. You can't hover.
Oh, I didn't know I went to the floor.
You feel heavier than you've ever felt before. And as you try to hover, right? You hear it. You hear the voice, and the camera cuts back over to Alex Ross, the announcer, and he goes, "Anti-gravity field provided by Ain't Gravity But About a Bitch Productions," and it fades back over to you two again.
I don't know what to do,
I am going to.
Wouldn't it be nice if you guys still had a commercial break left?
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. I'm gonna just investigate this trap and really think back and use my been there, done that to make a wisdom check to see if there's any possible way for us to survive this.
Can I also invoke a point to use my hero in training to help him with knowledge based on my training?
You can roll if you want to. You can create an advantage, right?
Right.
And the advantage could just be reflecting on the past or whatever, reflecting on past experiences. So roll either your choice of wisdom or intelligence, and if you want to invoke your hero in training, please do.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
So I got...
Yeah, you invoked it already. Okay.
I got a 3 to wisdom.
You got a 3? All right. You can tell that in your past, this is a common trap. Um, many years ago, they would use these traps in dungeons, um, to deter people, chasing or going in certain areas. Caltrops are a huge deterrent, but after the invention of thicker rubber on boots, they stopped using this. This trap stopped being used ages ago because of its ineffectiveness. Thick rubbered soles on boots and simply pushing the caltrops to either side once they were revealed made this trap completely obsolete. So you know that this is just a very simple caltrop as far as your reflections go. The caltrops are usually simple, old, and ineffective, but these ones got you because the lighting is terrible and you were barefoot.
Awesome. So I'm gonna just reach down and start to move these caltrops to the side and make a little path for me and Quincy.
You reach down and try to push the caltrops to the side, and you push hard enough so you don't cut your hand, but you can feel that these caltrops aren't moving. And then you hear Alex Ross, the announcer, as the camera cuts back to the announcer. Cuts back to the announcer. And he goes, "Crazy glue, provided by, well, the guys that make crazy glue." And it goes back over the years.
You know what, CeeLo? Stand back. Just stand back.
All right.
And I try to look with my foggy vision to see if I can see anywhere where there's like a path that we should go. And then I just go, you know what, caltrops? Fuck this! And I just blast out at the caltrops. And I try to burn as many caltrops as I can with my main eye stalk, like, and I'm just burning at them.
All right, you know what? For the cost of one fate point, you can create a path from where you are to anywhere else in the room. Even though your vision, well, it's kind of hard to see, but you create a safe path.
Okay.
From where you are, which is already a little bit into the caltrops, a few feet away from you, 10, 15 feet away from you, is where the caltrops started. Because you guys sort of fell, no, not 15 feet, like 10 feet. Because you fell and you slid a little bit, and you rolled because you're a beholder.
Right.
So from where you're at, you can create a path to the edge of that caltrops or somewhere deeper in the room.
So I'm going to make deeper into the room.
All right. So as you unleash your eye beams and you just get pissed off and you scream out, "Man, fuck this!" Your eye beam just blasts away these caltrops, and they just go flying. The heat of your eye rays just evaporating all the crazy glue in that one little localized area, leading into a path, and your eye rays hit and blast some chunks of stone away, and you see the end of the room. So you can roll over to the end of the room safely. It's a wall at the end of the room, but
you just see Quincy rolling. Yo, let's go, CeeLo!
Yeah, that's my muscle man. You got this.
And as you're rolling, you can hear in the background the announcer, and you hear him go, "Yeah, rolling, yeah!" and you also hear him screaming out to the audience, "Damn it, studio audience! Can't you see the fucking applause button? Yes!" And then you hear them clapping, yeah, rolling, as you're rolling down the path you made to the end of the room.
You know what, CeeLo? You're a good friend.
And you'll just see CeeLo behind him, kind of like pushing the huge circular beholder, like making him roll faster and faster towards his door.
As you guys reach the wall of the room, the faint glow that was around you begins to brighten up into a white light and expand. and slowly illuminate the room. You guys are in about a 30-foot by 30-foot square room, and there's no doors, no halls. The only way in or out is the way you came.
I don't think so. I'm gonna look around. And I'm just
To get anywhere else in the room, there's caltrops. And you can't hover because of the anti-gravity field shoving you guys down on the floor.
I'm just gonna try, because I'm actually a scary monster, and I know my way around dungeons, and I know there's secret doors, because beholders, we basically all live behind secret doors. I'm gonna look for a secret door.
There's plenty of secrets behind the doors of both your characters' minds, I can tell you that.
But yeah, that's before we leave this room, I'm just going to try to look around and see if there's any hints towards a secret door.
There's nothing. From your little safe spot, you can see nothing. And you guys start hearing cheering again. Woohoo! Yeah! Yeah! And you hear Alex Ross, the announcer's voice, come back over the speakers. And he goes, "This trap was designed and implemented by our friend over at the Fawntrodden YouTube channel, Chepe Le Pepe. I hope our contestants enjoyed. I know myself and our studio audience did." Back to you.
CeeLo! You're my friend and everything, but I cleared the 2 other fucking rooms. Get to fucking work.
All right. I'm gonna use my silver tongue to try to talk to the announcer himself. Be like, come on, man. How about you give CeeLo a little hint? Come on, hey, give you back room.
Roll it.
I'm gonna try to create an advantage with my telepathic bond and figure out just what the announcer likes best. Like, what's his weakness?
Okay, roll to use your telepath. Spend the fate point.
Right.
Charisma. Add the +2 from spending the fate point.
Right.
And roll with charisma and dig through the announcer's mind.
Come on, rolls.
That's a bad roll, but with all your modifiers, you still got a good score. Yeah. You're digging around in the announcer's mind, and you're trying to look for what the announcer loves most. Correct?
Yeah, his weakness that CeeLo could use.
And then you're hearing in your head, in the announcer's mind, these images and sounds are being reproduced in your own head. You can hear the really off jingle from an ice cream truck, in the background from a Mr. Softy, right? And you can see the announcer dressed up in a costume of, an ice cream man, with the hat, the white shirt, the white collar, the white apron on top of it. He has in his hand, a brown waffle cone held in a napkin with like 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream, rainbow sprinkles on top, and he's looking at it and he's smiling like a little off. And you're starting to focus in on the image of the ice cream, and you almost think that the thing that he loves most, the thing he wants most, is this ice cream, until you can see it start moving towards the hands of a young little boy. And the little boy goes, "So, sir, how much is this?" And he goes, "Well, I won't take your money, but you know what you could do for me before your bond breaks?"
Oh. CeeLo? I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to send you the images.
All right. Hey, Mr. Announcer, I got a little friend at my house, in the downstairs, some people call it my dungeon. I don't call it that. But Tommy, you should meet him. He is awesome. You love him. He's very friendly.
So,
Tell him you got vanilla. Tell him you got vanilla.
I can make some vanilla ice cream. You can meet Tommy. He loves vanilla ice cream.
I can't believe I'm helping this.
So give me a roll. Roll it. You can get a. You managed to create the advantage, right? It has one free invocation, and you can use it for free. Just roll and tell me what you get. What's your charisma roll? And then we'll add all the modifiers.
I rolled a +1, the plus, so I got a 2, and then all the modifiers.
So you added your silver tongue modifier yet or no?
Oh wow! So that's a 4, and then all the modifiers.
Okay, a 4, and then the modifiers for the free invocation is another +2, which gives you a 6, which is well enough. You can hear the announcer come over the speakers again. Whoa! Well, I know nothing about what you're talking about. I swear I never had sexual relations with that young girl. And he says this, and he's like, well, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is a room full of caltrops. There's one way in and one way out. I wonder how long it will take the contestants to figure this out.
Oh man, all that mind probing for nothing. Let's just get the fuck out of here. We'll go back out.
So you start rolling out. Now remember, you still have a little bit of a distance left from where your path ends and the caltrops begin and then end again. So just give me a Constitution roll for that little bit. For the both of you, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be a 2.
And I'm going to use actually a scary monster to just like, and I'm just going to roll through the caltrops. So I don't know if I can do that to get more con.
To get a boat, no, you gotta describe it better than that.
Well, like, you know, I'm a beholder, so I'm going to use my 4 stalks because I only got 5 plus my big one, and I'm going to make legs with them. I'm going to put them on the ground, and I'm going to walk with them, and I'm going to get through this. No,
that's not very scary monster-like. Like, that's funny. So you do that. You do that, all right? And,
so I don't get the +2, and I get +2.
And, yeah, but that's still good enough.
Okay.
What did you get, CeeLo?
I got a 2.
You got a 2, so you fail. You take one shift of damage.
Okay.
So you still have the 1 stress box, I believe. Your 1 and your 3 is taken up, and Quincy's 3 is taken up with a moderate consequence. So his second
vision and dizziness I had written down. Or is the dizziness gone?
No. The dizziness was only for the scene.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't take one this scene. That's right. Only CeeLo took.
Okay.
So yeah, basically you guys get out of that fine because when the scene changes, all your stress boxes reset, but your consequences last.
Oh, okay.
But your stresses reset every scene. So
Oh,
each room in this game is a scene.
Okay.
So you guys go back down the hall, and you go back down to the giant room with the muddy floor. And as you're just entering the giant room with the muddy floor, you could hear the announcer coming back out on the loudspeaker, speaking again, and he says, "You can look and look and look in this big-ass room all game long. I wonder how long it would take our contestants to figure out there's no more doors." As he is obviously shooting you guys hints, but trying to disguise it as him talking to the studio audience. So, does CeeLo walk, or do you hover CeeLo again?
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to try to get on top of Quincy.
And Quincy, I would like to compel your telepathic bond.
No.
So you have to pay me a fate point.
I'll pay you my last fate point.
So you pay me your last fate point,
I don't want to know what he's thinking.
and you allow him on top.
Yeah.
All right, so you get on top of him, and you just float over to the same place you entered the room. You go back towards there, and as you get back there, the stone slab is no longer there anymore. It's already lifted back up, allowing you to float right back through, and you float right back through, and you're in the room where you scared the crap out of Greg, and there was the one path where you didn't go down that had the image of 3 doors carved above the hallway. And you guys, I'm assuming, go down that pathway, correct?
Yeah.
You guys are going down that hallway, and there's doors, sort of gates, slowly coming down from the ceiling down to the floor periodically as you pass. And you can hear the music playing in the background, you know, that glorious, like, Olympic type music. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. As you know, you guys are going down this hallway, you get almost a sense of victory, and hear Alex Ross, the announcer, over the loudspeakers. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like they're in the home stretch. There's not much time left in this episode of Let's Dungeon, so let's see what our contestants do. And it goes back over to you guys, and you enter in this room, and in this room there is, it's a brightly lit room, and there is this beautiful human female, right, and this very, like, skimpy red dress, and the red dress is like 100% red. It's like pure red. It almost seems like there's no shadow, and it looks sort of silky, you know, as it's draped across her form. And she's standing there with, like, this giant, cheesy-ass, shit-eating grin on her face. Her teeth are, like, abnormally white. You know, they're almost sparkling like sequins in her mouth. And you hear the announcer, and he goes, "Contestant number 1, contestant number 2. Now it's the time for choice. You guys have reached the end of our dungeon. You get to choose your prize. Do you choose what's behind curtain number 1?" And the curtain begins to lift as the beautiful woman walks across, and she's just, you know, motioning both her hands for you guys to look at what's behind curtain number 1. And it lifts up, and there's a large stone door that is actually a face, you know, and the face looks very stoic, and the eyes are looking back and forth towards the beautiful woman, and then towards you guys, and then towards the beautiful woman, and then towards you guys again. And you hear the announcer over the loudspeakers, "You can choose behind what's curtain number 1, which is our sentient door. Answer his riddle and continue on for bigger prizes. Or choose behind what's behind curtain number 2. And the beautiful woman walks in front of the stone face door and motions for you to look at what's behind curtain number 2. Curtain number 2 rises, and there's a sword glowing faintly with magical energy, and it's floating there, and it's like bouncing up and down left and bouncing up and down right. And he goes, "What's this? A dancing vorpal sword! Unfortunately, we only have one of these, so one of you has to choose which one gets the prize, and the other one gets absolutely nothing. Or you can choose behind what's curtain number 3. And the woman steps in front of the dancing vorpal sword and motions towards curtain number 3. And as it's raising, she does, like, this very, you know, smooth sort of pirouette, this spin that allows the dress to flare out a little bit, and then continues motioning behind what's curtain number 3. And curtain number 3 rises, and you hear the announcer's voice as you see a large treasure chest, like a gigantic treasure chest. It's almost like up to the waist of the beautiful woman, and it looks like, you know, psilocybin and the woman could fit in the chest, plus some other humanoids as well. Like, this is a very, very big chest. It's closed, and you hear the announcer Alex Ross's voice on the loudspeaker once again. Or you could choose our mystery prize. This chest filled with goodies. Enough to split between the both of you. So what will it be, contestants? Do you choose the mystery prize? The wealth of this chest? The dancing vorpal sword, or do you wish to continue just a bit further? Answer the riddle of our stone-faced door and see what you get. The choice is yours. We are running out of time, gentlemen, so if you wish to win your glorious prizes, please decide swiftly. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Let's get the bag of goodies we can share together, Quincy.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Fuck this place.
So, you're choosing which one?
The gold.
The chest? There's no gold that you can see. There's a chest, a giant chest. There's the dancing vorpal sword, and there's the stone door that looks like a face, and the eyes. The face looks very stoic, but the eyes are glancing over, jumping between the two of you, and then looking, trying to catch a vision of the beautiful woman off to the side.
I got a feeling about this face. Let's go talk to it.
All right.
So you guys choose the face?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like our contestants have made their choice. They choose to speak to our very own Demon Door. And curtain number 2 drops, and curtain number 3 drops, and the woman starts to run away.
Demon Door? He sounds awesome. I had a friend named Damien once.
And then the door sort of starts moving around. It's moving its lips around. Answer this riddle, and you shall proceed. Roses are red, violets are blue. Get your answer wrong, and I will eat you. And then it sticks out like a stone tongue and begins to lick its stone lips.
Was that the fucking question?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use my intelligence to really stop and think about this for a bit, if I can.
And
advantage.
no, as you're doing that, you can see the stone door trying to move its head left and right, flexing. So, give me an intelligence roll to. You said you were using an intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a failure. You can choose to succeed at a major cost.
I'll choose to succeed at a major cost.
You can choose to succeed at a major cost. So, the major cost is going to be that the scene is going to start changing slightly, and instead of a room, several bars shoot from the ceiling down to encircle you two, to make sure that you can't get very far away from this door. And what you can figure out is that this door told you an unanswerable riddle because you don't have all the pieces.
Sugar is sweet.
And the door reaches out, it sticks its mouth out and begins to break free a little bit, and you notice that it has a neck, and it attacks you, CeeLo.
Oh.
I'm gonna invoke my friendly to a fault.
Okay, you're gonna compel yourself, and you're gonna take the hit for CeeLo.
No. CeeLo could take the hit, and then I'll say what I'm gonna do after, I guess.
Well, you can compel friendly to a fault, but you got to take the attack instead of him.
Yeah, that's not what I meant to do. I'll wait to see what happens here, and then.
All right, so CeeLo, he attacks you. You can roll either strength or dexterity against his attack.
You're muted.
Free action that CeeLo always does to unmute his microphone. Is this on?
Yeah.
Is this on? Alright, alright. That's gonna be a +3.
Ted, can I get a sound check on contestant number one's microphone? It's working? Oh, very good. Thank you. Thank you.
So +3.
Plus three.
+3.
I would like to compel your high concept of really old half-elf paladin.
Okay.
You say yes or no?
Yeah.
It costs you one of your 2 fate points to say no, or I give you a fate point for you to say yes.
No, I'll say yes. I'm running low.
All right. So you're a little too old to get away. So he succeeds, and his bite ain't. His bite is mean. Mean as all hell. So you take 4 shifts of damage.
Okay.
I mean 5 shifts of damage. Sorry,
Whew.
because I got You said you got a 4 on your roll.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I only get a +1 plus his bite damage. So you take 4 shifts of damage. Did I say 4 or 5? No, 5. Blech.
5.
So you take 5 shifts of damage. You have 1 stress box at 3 that you could take, and then take a minor consequence.
I'll take a minor consequence.
So you have to fill out both the number 3 stress box and the first minor consequence box, both of them. Or you can just choose to take a major consequence.
I'll take. You know what? I want to know what it is. I'll take a major consequence.
You take a major consequence.
Yep.
He bites off an arm.
Whoo!
Like
Ah!
he just
What the
punches
fuck?
your arm and tears it off. And as he tears it off, he rips it off and then tosses it up and opens up his giant maw. And he's like, ow!
Wait, this is important. Was it the left arm or the right arm?
You can choose.
Left.
Okay. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, the door ate his arm.
So
I would have sworn the answer was right.
Thank goodness the door is made of stone and has absolutely no taste bud, because that old ass paladin's arm must taste like shit.
So I compel my friendly to a fault, so that I start going, listen, Door, I know you just misunderstood. You know, I know you just need a friend.
No, you can't compel for a positive benefit.
Is it going to be a positive benefit if I read it?
It sounds like you're trying to create a positive benefit, instead of a detriment.
Well, either way, that's what I'm doing. So either way, whether I'm compelled.
So you can invoke your friendly fault at the cost of a fate point to get a benefit.
So without any fate point, just using my charisma, I'm
Okay.
just talking to the door like this.
All right.
And you know, I know you just misunderstood. You know, you're angry. Your dad, Door, probably just beat on you when you were a kid, Door. I don't know, man.
Well, that's odd. Am I still here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, my web browser just restarted and everything disappeared. But holy cow. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like our studio is having technical difficulties. Could you send me the link to this chat so I can come back?
Yeah. I got you. Or it's in that it's in our messenger chat.
I just sent it to you.
Oh, there we go. I sent it.
Are you guys there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the studio's technical difficulties, but our programming will resume from this point on as we watch as this large stone-faced door opens his bloody jaw wide and attacks the beholder.
Okay. So what do? Roll defense.
Yeah, your choice of dexterity or strength.
Doesn't really matter for me.
Oh, you whipped this thing's butt in defense. So
Nice.
you easily succeed. Um, you can describe how you defend against this giant maw opening up and trying to crunch down on you.
You know, Quincy just actually using his buoyancy actually just lets himself really float real low, and when he hits the ground, he uses all his buoyancy to kind of just float up as the door goes behind him, and it's the cutest thing you've ever seen.
And back to the two of you guys. How would the two of you like to continue?
Quincy, I need a rest on top of you. The motherfucker got my arm. This is horrible. Again.
So a while ago when you cut out, I tried to reason with it. That's not. I guess I got attacked for it. Just to confirm.
Well, after you said what you said, it decided to attack you.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Okay.
Yeah.
We're
Remember
down
the
to-
riddle. Remember the riddle. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you answer wrong, I'm gonna eat you.
Demon door.
It's just making like chewing whatever remnants of the arm is left after it
Lion.
bit it off.
Well, bite. I don't know. Ugly face on a fucking door.
And that's all you two are doing? Just arguing with it?
No.
Yeah, I
to, like,
I
guess
thought
the
of,
riddle.
I would have sworn mine was the right answer, but I guess it wasn't.
Violets are blue. Sun. The sun. Water. I don't know.
As it's opening up its mouth. And about to just chomp down on the one who answered his riddle incorrectly. Several times, in one round, in fact. And it's going to make an attack against Quincy. Oh,
Yeah.
yep. Quincy defends yet again. You can describe how you defend.
This time, as the door's coming at me, I use all four of my eye stalks, the little nimble ones, to hold on to its side. And as it's trying to bite me, I'm just right there in his face, like, yeah, try to get it,
I just remembered something. You rolled a 2. I'm going to take that one free invoke on your consequence that I have yet to do so far. And you get a minus, remember you get a -4 to anything that requires sight because you have blurred vision.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get a -4 to your roll. So your roll is actually -2. What you going to do about that? You only got one fate point.
I'm going to, at best, I'm still going to use actually a scary monster to try to, like fight back against them as I'm holding them back and my blurred vision is factoring in. I'm going to be like, "Rah!" and I'm going to try to scare them away.
No, this is a defense roll, though. Actually,
So
a scary monster.
Well, then
Remember, it's either strength or dexterity. Actually, a scary monster was your stunt that works with your charisma.
So either way, I got nothing else then.
All right, so you're at a -2, right? So that's 3 pluses. So you take 6 shifts of damage. So you take you could fill out your stress box of 3, and you also take a consequence. You only have 2 consequence boxes left. So you have the mild consequence, which is a 2, and then the major severe consequence, which is a 6. And you have 3 more points of damage to take, so you have to use one that's either equal to or above. And that would be the severe.
So give me a severe.
So he bites at you and literally chomps off your eye stalks, leaving only the giant eye in the middle.
Okay.
And then he sucks them in like spaghetti and then starts crunching. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, he's noodling his eyes. And you two guys go again. Let me look at my cheat sheet. Oh, I don't have my cheat sheet here because everything reset. But yeah, your two guys go.
I'd like to do my silver tongue and +2 charisma to overcome charisma action to try to persuade this door and think of a. Or would that be more been there, done? I'm trying to figure out the answer to this riddle but psilocybin is. Yeah. So whether that be charisma or my wisdom, whichever.
What are you trying to do to this door?
I'm gonna see nothing. I'm gonna try to do nothing to the door, but I am gonna try to do been there, done that to gain +2 wisdom to overcome an action and see if I can think back into my memory of this riddle, hearing this riddle before.
Go ahead, roll it.
I'm going to look back on my training and try to create an advantage for him on that. I'm going to try to think back. I got a +4.
You definitely created an advantage. And there's a free invocation.
I'd be like, I remember a lesson. Yeah, it goes like this. And I tell him.
Yeah. Chatting about the past is your advantage. So, Andrew, roll your dice. Let me know what you get.
Yep, I got a +4 to wisdom.
Yeah, but roll.
No, that's what I got.
Oh, +4?
Well, no, I didn't have a +4. I had a +2 because +2 and wisdom to overcome an action. And then I rolled. I didn't get a plus or a minus, so that's 2. And I added 2, so that's a 4 to wisdom.
Yeah, so when you're reflecting upon your many years and chatting with Quincy about the past, you pretty much figured out that this is a fucking trap.
All right.
Like this thing, there's no way to answer that riddle because that's an incomplete riddle.
Well, okay, so now I'm going to use my charisma and actually tell this door that you think you're in my eye stalks? And, if I can, and just try to tell it I'm actually a scarier monster than him, and if he doesn't move the fuck out of the way and let us through, I'm going to blast him. And I'm just completely, just going on and on how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to freak out pretty soon, and that's it, I'm at the end of my rope.
Yeah, you tell, Quincy.
So normally, you're creating an advantage is an action. So it would go.
Oh, I see.
But the reason I allowed the both of you to create an advantage and keep going is that the door is just munching on what's left of your eye stalks. It still has like 1 or 2 of them sticking out of his mouth.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll that. My charisma plus I'm a scary monster, so you better not fuck with me. That's a +5. It evens out.
So as you do that, it sucks in the last of your eye stalks like spaghetti again, and crunches down at it, and it makes the motion like it swallows and makes a sound, and says, "Roses are red, violets are blue. Answer this wrong, then I'm going to eat you." And then it just waits for a reply. but you do have you created that advantage, right?
I thought so. By
Um,
scaring it. Yeah.
yeah. So it says that, but then it turns to look at psilocybin again as he's bleeding on the floor, missing an arm. Um, so that's his serious thing, is that he's missing an arm. Uh, so the two of you, what would the two of you do? And you start hearing, like, after it says that, when it starts speaking again, like very slow, eerie music. And then after it finishes saying that, like combat music starts to play in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, if it hadn't already gotten real, it's about to get real right now.
I'm just I don't know. I'm gonna compel friendly to a fault, and I'm gonna stand in front of my bleeding compatriot, and I'm gonna say, "I'm gonna take the bite for you. Live on without me."
Oh, all right.
You want to jump right into its mouth as it opens its mouth?
Sure.
You jump into its mouth and sacrifice yourself?
That's the plan. Because you're the best friend I ever had.
So you jump into its mouth. It goes crunch and like crushes you like a meatball, and your innards and guts go flying all over the place. Blood and goop and just like giant eye juice splatters across CeeLo, and it's munching and you, as it's chewing away. And as it's doing this, the eyes, the stoic look turns to a look of just utter satisfaction, and it's like, and then the door begins to open up, and the face just goes off to the side, and you see a red carpet on a laminate floor, laminate walls, track lights everywhere, brightly lit, and then confetti starts falling from the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have a winner. Just in time, too. Our programming was about to end. It's amazing. Psilocybin, the really old half-elf paladin, the one and only survivor of the pilot episode of Let's Dungeon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a hand. And you hear them all cheer. Woohoo, yeah! Clapping and everything.
What are you gonna do about my missing arm, bitches?
He goes, at this point in the programming, we might want to have a moment of silence for Quincy, our friendly neighborhood beholder. But we won't, because who gives a fuck? Yeah! Woohoo, yeah. And, quickly fades to black, and credits start to roll and fast forward as the programming was literally about to come to an end just before this decision was made. And gentlemen, that's been the pilot episode of Let's Dungeon. What did you guys think?
I liked it. That was a fun experience to play Fate. It was cool. I mean, definitely new to it. I'll have to work on it a little bit to get more used to my character and do more things with him, but it was fun.
Yeah, I hope to run a lot more Fate games like this.
Yeah, I'm down.
And you, Patrick?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to play Fate, puzzle solve. We didn't have a battle, like a traditional battle the whole time, which was cool. So yeah, it was fun.
And if you gentlemen would like to take a turn, reintroduce yourselves, your characters if you wish, and any online things you would like to plug.
So my name is Patrick Aduri. I was playing Quincy, who I like to play in my campaigns. It was fun to play him, and only him for once. I am working on my YouTube channel. I kind of renamed it today, Thousandfold Gaming. But also, I run Third Person Nerd. Search for that on Facebook. But yeah, that's me.
Yep, Andrew Prawl. I run Chucklefucks Anonymous group. About to start up a YouTube channel. And pretty new to tabletopping, but love the hobby. So yeah, look for me soon.
And I, as you know, if you're watching this, am Nelson, and this is Infinite Roleplay. I hope you enjoyed watching my first Fate game that I ever ran. I hope it was enjoyable to both my players and yourself. And yeah, check out you know Chucklefucks Anonymous on Facebook, as well as RPGW3 and the Tabletop RPG One Shot Group. We run all sorts of games, pretty much all day, every day, all time zones. Doesn't matter. And check out Third Person Nerd. We'll be recording, a little podcast talking about Daredevil Season 1 tomorrow. So I hope you guys check that out as well. I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, peace out. So yeah, that was interesting.